Have you ever wanted to have some ambient lighting on your game table that just kind of increased the creepiness or the coolness of your table? If so, this video could be for you. Today we're going to do Dungeons & Dragons crafting ambient lighting hidden in scattered terrain. Hi guys, I'm DM Dunn. Today I'm going to show you, maybe, how to make some scattered terrain with some hidden ambient lighting. I'm going to do something different than most YouTubers do. I'm not going to show you a craft that I've already perfected. I have an idea and I'm going to show you how my first run at this idea goes. Maybe it's a perfect success, but maybe it's not. But I wanted you guys to see some of the realism because not everything comes out perfect. So I had an idea to have some, like maybe some 2-inch by 2-inch rocks that could be like in a cave or a cavern or something like that, that's going to have light coming out of it hidden, so that we can have some lighting. And so what I did is I bought some of these LED lights, and it actually comes with a remote control. And so you can pop it on, and then you can also change the colors if you want as well. So lots of different versions, and one thing I thought was kind of neat is this little fade. So like if you have it hidden inside like a rock, it can kind of like fade out and fade in. And so we're gonna see if we can make this work. I don't know. So we're gonna try it out. So my idea was to get some 2-inch by 2-inch foam. And if you've seen before, I only have this 1-inch foam that available. So I cut 2-inch by 2 inches and I glued 2 pieces together. Now, what I did is I just grabbed one of my little wood clamps to try to clamp it together so that the glue would dry and it would hold it together. One thing that I did learn though is that you probably want to put maybe like a little piece of wood or something solid there so that you don't get the impressions in the top of your foam. However, it's not really going to matter because this is going to get roughed up and textured anyways. So not really a big deal, but if it bothers you, you can put a little spacer in there. And of course I just used the pink foam. So I'm gonna try my hot wire knife today to see if I can get this to work. And so my theory is that if I can get this to stand up inside of here, and then just have one of these sides have like an opening in there, like an opening in a rock, then the light would shoot out and it would come out and it would cascade on the table surface. So that's the plan. So we're gonna cut a hole in the bottom, hopefully big enough that this can slide up into it. We're gonna cut a hole out of one of the sides so that the light can come out, and then we're just gonna shape off the rest of the edges to make it look like it's some kind of natural stone. So that is the plan. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is kind of like get a measurement of this bad boy. And I don't really want to burn this thing, but I do want to get myself an idea of about how far I need to be going. Careful not to burn yourself as you're doing this, because burning yourself isn't going to be any fun. Alright, so I think that's going to be about the size of the hole that I need to be cutting down. And so now we're just going to try to deepen that out. So make sure you're in a well-ventilated area and or have a mask that is rated for these type of fumes. So I think, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and just try to do a couple of little lines in here. And then I've got a flathead screwdriver that I think I can use to just kind of like break these out. I think that might be good enough. So now that I've got these kind of wedges, these lines in there, we're just going to see if maybe we can kind of like pop these out. Yeah, looks like it's working so far. There we go. And yep, it's looking like that would fit. So far, so good. Clearly, we got to go a lot deeper though. So we're going to continue this process down. However, I think now instead of going straight down the sides, maybe I can try to do it at a little bit of an angle as this is starting to be angled. So we'll kind of test this as we go. I'm not quite, I might not be able to get that perfect of a angle in there. But if it ends up being too loose in here, we can always try to figure out a way to kind of like tighten it up in there. So I've got a few more wedges in there, so now I'm going to just try to break these guys out using my flathead screwdriver. I want to be careful, I don't want to break a hole out of the side here yet. Oh. So this is kind of how you would do wood as well too, is if you just want to hollow it out something. So it's looking, ooh, it's getting better. It's getting better. It's getting better. So we're just going to continue this process until we get what we want. Alright, so now it looks like we have success. Looks like we got it at least flush enough in there. We've got a little hole exposed. The lights seem to be working. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to try to make the rest of this kind of look more like a big rock that was going to be inside of a dungeon. I'm going to start this with, instead of my hot wire knife, I want to do this one with my straight razor, just to see how it's looking with that. So the first thing you're going to want to do, of course, is get rid of the sharp edges, because there are no sharp edge rocks in Mother Nature. And it's okay to break some of this off versus giving it a nice clean cut, because sometimes stones have wedges like that, where you can just take like a nick like that and just take it right out of there. And maybe come from a different direction as well. Something like so. I do want to just make sure that I'm not going to go like super crazy deep to where it's going to go into where the light is. I'm kind of liking this so far. It's looking pretty good. I think it's going to look really neat. And what's going to be nice about this too is there's going to be some surface area that miniatures can stand on top of this, or they can hide behind it for cover, or bad guys can hide behind it, and monsters. So trying to make it a versatile piece versus just a light. Alright, so now I think I need to try to get some nicks like out here in the center areas as well. Kind of make it look like stone. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some more of this wall compound on here to kind of see if we can get a little bit of a texture like that as well, to give it a little bit more of a rocky texture. And I'm going to use my official scooper again, my finger. And you see I'm just going to try to tap on it, which will kind of pull it up and make it look like a little bit of like a tackiness as well. So it doesn't have to be smooth, because we're not trying to cover up cracks in drywall. And we got to be careful that we're not like trying to fill in these holes, but instead add extra texture in addition to them. Alright, pretty cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to let this dry, and then after it's dry, what we're going to do is we're going to put on a layer of the black Mod Podge to put a black color on it, but also a layer of protection on the foam. And that's where we will pick up, where you'll see me next, and then we will try to paint it from there. Okay guys, so now we're back. We've got the black Mod Podge on there, and we've got this thing all dried up. Now, I wanted to tell you earlier, as I did, that you're going to try some things, and maybe they work out, maybe they don't. This wasn't as round as I wanted it to be. It's pretty square. So I made a second one, and I wanted to make this one more round. And what I did is I put the hole closer to the back, so that thinking the light would have more distance before it came out of the hole that I'd put in here. Problem is I wasn't able to get this quite as round either, because I was starting to cut off the corners. Trial and error. So I made a third one, which I put the light back more into the middle, and I was able to get it more rounded the way that I wanted it to be. So just, an example of things may not always turn out the way you want them to when you're experimenting. So I'm just going to go ahead and stay with the one that we started with. And remember, it was just started with just the two pieces of foam that were glued together and pressed until they were dried. All right, so now we're going to paint. And the painting I'm going to do in a few phases. I'm going to start with a dark gray. This is apple barrel pewter gray. And then I'm going to put a couple of touches of burnt Sienna in there, just to get some color mix-ups. Then I'm going to do one of a lighter gray, and then I'm going to do highlights with an off-white, and this is actually called antique parchment. So these are just going to be the four colors that we're going to be using, and I'm just going to go ahead and just paint it so you guys can see it, and we'll try to fast forward so it goes a little bit faster. So again, a dark gray, just like a deeper color to mix it up, highlight like a more of a lesser gray, but on bigger part of it, and then just highlights with the off-white. So that's what we're going to be doing, and we're going to go lightning speed. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. So with just a base gray, a little touch of like a reddish brown, and then covered up with a lighter gray, and then just a highlight, we got something that looks pretty good. So now let's see what it looks like whenever we pop this light back in. And remember, this was a set of lights. I'll put the link in the description below where I got these right off of Amazon. It comes with 2 remote controls and 10 of these lights. So you can make a bunch of these if you want. And so we're popping that back up in there. Turn it on. And now you can change colors, of course, depending on whatever your mood is and your setting that you want it to be. Like always, if you like what we do and you want to help us out, do us a big favor. Hit the thumbs up, hit the like, the subscribe buttons, and it really helps us out if you're going to buy anything from Amazon to go ahead and hit our links and then go into Amazon and then buy whatever it is you're going to buy. It doesn't have to be these items, but whatever you get, it'll ask you for your normal login, and that way we get credit for sending to Amazon. That helps us out. You can also check out our website as well. We got some links for some of our crafts in there as well also. So guys, have fun. And until next time, have more D&D fun with DM done.